Oh, hello. How glad I'm to see you. We have such an unusual day today. Something strange has been happening since the very morning. I don't even know where to start telling. You know, lately I have started to notice amazing things. At first, I thought it was just me, but do you remember I always said that there is something special about our cafe, something inexplicable? And you know what is the most interesting? I have started to notice that all these oddities are somehow connected with Mia. For example, she never has lunch with us. She always finds some excuse, either an important meeting or an urgent call. I started to write down my observations. At first, they were little things, but then it all started to form some mysterious pictures. I noticed that the flowers in our cafe have started to live much longer than usual. It's been 3 weeks now, and they haven't even started to wilt. And this happened after Mia herself took care of the arrangement. At first, I didn't pay attention to this. I thought maybe it was special writing or a new way of caring. But then I noticed that the flowers seemed to be reaching for her when she passes by. The petals barely noticeably turn in her direction, as if she's emitting some special light. And last week, something completely inexplicable happened. There was heavy rain. Everyone was hurrying to take cover, running into the cafe, completely soaked. And then the supplier called some problem with the delivery. Mia went out into the street without even taking an umbrella. I watched through the window and the rain seemed to part in front of her, you know, as if there was an invisible dome around her. She reached the supplier's car completely dry, while everything around was flooded with water. And the most amazing thing, after her conversation with the driver, the problem with the delivery somehow resolved itself. And this is not an isolated case. Every time when something unfortunate is about to happen in the cafe, Mia appears as if from nowhere. A second before, the coffee machine breaks down. She's already calling a repairman before a difficult client arrives. She appears nearby and somehow smooth over all the rough edges. And you know what is the strangest thing? In such moments, something happens to the air around her, as if the space becomes softer, warmer. I have noticed this several times, especially when upset visitors come to us. The other day, a woman came to us, all in tears, clearly after some serious quarrel. She sat in the farthest corner, ordered just tea. Mia was just talking on the phone at the other end of the hall. But suddenly she seemed to have sensed something. She ended the conversation abruptly, went to the woman's table, and you know what is surprising? She didn't say anything special. She just sat down next to her, poured her some fresh tea, but at some point I noticed how special glow seemed to appear around them, barely noticeable, like the pre-dawn twilight. And the woman, she suddenly calmed down, and half an hour later she left with a completely different expression on her face, as if all her problems has dissolved. I began to observe such moments more closely, and I noticed one detail. When Mia talks to upset visitors, time seems to slow down. You know how it happens in a dream when one moment stretches for an eternity. The same thing happens here. Last Thursday, we had an elderly man. He comes every week, always orders the same coffee. Usually, he is so collected, strict, but this time He came looking somewhat lost. Mia was just in her office, but suddenly she came out just like that for no reason. She came up to him and they started talking. And here is what is surprising. I was preparing drinks, glancing in the direction according to the clock. Only 5 minutes had passed, but it felt as if they had been talking for several hours. And when he was leaving, I could have sworn that I saw how Mia lightly touched his shoulder, and at that moment a wave of light seemed to run through her hand, barely noticeable, like the reflection of the sun on the water. And after such conversations with Mia, people change, not immediately, not drastically, but something happens in their lives. That elderly man, a week later, he came with his grandson. It turns out they hadn't spoken for several years because of some quarrel. And now they come together every Thursday. And I also noticed a strange thing with the weather. On those days when Mia is in a particularly good mood, even in cloudy weather, the sun breaks through the clouds right into the windows of our cafe. Sometimes a rainbow appears and only over our street. And when she is worried about something, last week there was a thunderstorm, but only over the cafe. In other parts of the city, The sun was shining. I started looking for some explanations. Maybe she's a psychic or an alien. I know, I know it sounds crazy, but how else can you explain all this? At first, I thought that these were just random coincidences, but then I started to notice patterns. On the days of the full moon, she always takes a day off. Always. Without exceptions. And on these nights, on these nights, a strange glow appears over the cafe, like the northern lights, only softer, warmer. And another oddity, animals. You know, the stray cat that sometimes comes to our cafe. Usually, he is so distrustful, doesn't let anyone near him. But when Mia appears, he doesn't just come up to her. He seems to bow. He bows. I'm not exaggerating. And the birds, they gather on the cornice when she goes out, as if they are waiting for something. And the other day, something completely inexplicable happened. Do you want me to tell you? I was just closing the cafe. It was already dark outside, and suddenly I saw how Mia was standing by the window in her office. She thought that no one could see her. And you know what happened? She raised her hand, and a small ball of light appeared on her palm, as if a star had descended from the sky. It hovered over her hand, illuminating the room. with such an unearthly light. And in this light, I swear, I saw how a shadow appeared behind her back, but not an ordinary shadow, but as if wings, huge glowing wings. Of course, it could have been just a play of light or my imagination, but after that, I started to notice other details. When she's very focused, the objects around her seem to float in the air, just a little bit, barely noticeable. The cups seem to slide on the table by themselves. The doors open before she touches them, and always this special light around her. But you know what is the most amazing thing? She, it seems, knows that I'm watching her. Sometimes I catch her gaze, such a knowing one, and in such moments she smiles slightly, as if saying, "Yes, Lily, you have noticed everything correctly, but let this remain our secret." Yesterday, something happened. I accidentally broke a cup, the favorite cup of one regular visitor. He collects them, and this one was some special antique one. I was so upset, and suddenly Mia was there. She simply put her hand on the shards, and the cup became as good as new. But the strangest thing, when I looked up at her, she put her finger to her lips and winked. You know, maybe I'm not the only one who notices something. Have you been here before? Haven't you seen anything unusual? Sometimes I try to put all these pieces together into a single picture. Who is she? An angel? A sorceress? Or maybe a creature from another world who has taken on the form of a human? What do you think? Oh, do you hear? It seems she's come. I have noticed one oddity. Every time we talk about her, she appears as if she senses it. And now, do you also feel it? How the air has become lighter, warmer, even the light has changed. You know what I think? There must be such creatures in the world, those who watch over us, help us, guide us. It's just that we are usually too busy to notice their presence. Sometimes I think maybe there are many like her. They live among us, helping their own way. Maybe you have also met someone like that. Someone next to whom everything becomes right. Oh, look, do you see how the sky suddenly cleared up? A second ago, there were clouds, and now, and it's like this every time when she. Lily, could you help me with the documents? Yes, of course. See, she always appears at the most interesting moments. But you will keep our conversation a secret, won't you? And take a closer look at her next time you come. Maybe You will also notice something unusual, or maybe she wants us to notice, to believe in miracles. After all, isn't that what such special places like our cafe exist for?